During a storm in 1985, lighthouse keeper Thomas Curry of Maine saved Atlanta, queen of the underwater nation Atlantis. They married and had a son named Arthur, who was born with the ability to communicate with sea creatures. Atlanta was forced to abandon her family and return to Atlantis, entrusting the mission of training Arthur to her advisor, Nuidus Vulko. Arthur became a skilled warrior under Vulko's tutelage but rejected Atlantis after learning that Atlanta had been executed for having son from human. Several months after the Steppenwolf invasion, Arthur encounters a group of pirates attempting to hijack the Russian Navy's Akula-class submarine. Their leader, Jesse Kane, is killed in a fight, and his son, David, vows vengeance. Meanwhile, ORM, Arthur's half-brother and king of Atlantis, tries to persuade King Nereus of Zebel to help him unite Atlantis and attack the surface world for destroying the seas. If ORM was successful in uniting Atlantis, Nereus promised him the title of Ocean Master, commander of the planet's most powerful force. Their rendezvous is cut short when another Russian Akula submarine attacks the rendezvous site, ostensibly in retaliation for the sinking of the previous sub. ORM was able to destroy it, and the attack persuaded Nereus to join forces with ORM in order to defend the seas. He swears allegiance to ORM's cause, but his daughter Mara, who has become engaged to ORM, refuses to assist them and goes to the surface to seek help from Arthur, to earning his trust by saving Thomas from a tsunami sent by ORM. Arthur be happy accompany Mara to a meeting with Vulko, who urges Arthur to find the Trident of Atlan, a magical artifact once belonging to Atlantis' first ruler, in order to reclaim his rightful place as king. They are ambushed by ORM's men, and Mara and Vulko flee unnoticed, while Arthur is apprehended. Arthur is chained and brought before ORM, who accuses Arthur in the surface of being responsible for Atlanta's death. He offers Arthur the opportunity to leave for good, but Arthur instead challenges him to a duel in an underwater lava ring. ORM outperforms himself and nearly kills Arthur before Mara saves him. Arthur and Mara traveled to the Sahara Desert, where the Trident was forged, and opened a holographic message that led them to Sicily, Italy, where the Trident's coordinates were obtained. Meanwhile, ORM meets David, who reveals that the submarine that had attacked them before was actually the same one David had hijacked and that ORM had hired him to hijack a Russian nuclear submarine and perform a false flag attack from the surface, giving the appearance that ORM's reasons for going to war have been vindicated and causing King Nereus to side with him. ORM provides David with a prototype Atlantean battle suit in order for him to kill Arthur, imprisons Vulko after revealing knowledge of his betrayal, and forces the Atlantic Kingdom to pledge allegiance to him and campaign against the surface. After modifying ORM's technology, the fully armored David re-emerges as Black Manta and ambushes Arthur and Mara in Sicily, injuring Arthur severely before being thrown off a cliff to his death. When they traveled to the location of the Trident, Mara nursed Arthur's wounds and encouraged him to embrace his destiny as a hero. When Arthur and Mara arrive at their destination, they are attacked by an amphibious monster known as the Trench, but they manage to fend them off and reach a wormhole that transports them into an unknown sea at the center of Earth. They are unexpectedly reunited with Atlanta, who was sacrificed to the Trench for her crimes but escaped and reached uncharted seas, where she has been shipwrecked ever since. Arthur meets Carathen, the Trident's guardian, and expresses his determination to protect Atlantis and the surface, prove his worth, and reclaim the Trident, which gave him control over the seven seas. ORM and his allies lead an army against the Brine Kingdom's crustacean troops in order to complete ORM's surface battle preparations. When ORM declares himself Ocean Master, Arthur and Mara, with the assistance of Carathen and Trench, lead an army of sea creatures against him. When they learn that Arthur wielded the Trident, ORM's followers abandoned him and being Arthur as a true king. In battle, Arthur defeated ORM but chose to spare his life, and ORM learning that Arthur had found and saved Atlanta. Atlanta returns to the surface to reunite with Thomas, while Arthur ascends to the throne, accompanied by Mara. In a mid-credits scene, David is rescued by Dr. Stephen Shin, a scientist and conspiracy theorist obsessed with Atlantis, and agrees to lead Shin there in exchange for his assistance in Arthur's vengeance.